Melissa Doyle, welcome to McKnight Tonight.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
You are a friend of the show, and I swear you must have rubbed a lamp and got a genie because you're going to be working with none other than Oprah Winfrey.
I am so excited. I feel like the inner 15-year-old wannabe journalist is still squealing. It's such an honor. So she's doing an In Conversations tour around the country. We've got 4 venues and I'm on stage asking her questions. So I'm a mixture of absolute excitement and I'm sure at the last minute what will be complete fear because hey, interviewing the goddess of interviewing, but I'm just thrilled. It's going to be fantastic. She's an icon. She's a media icon, a cultural icon. So just to spend any time with her, I'm pretty damn excited.
I can understand. How did it happen? I mean, there's a lot of people in Australia, Mel, and you have risen to the top.
Well, thank you. I don't know, but I'm incredibly honoured. We obviously it had to be approved by Oprah. We had a lovely Zoom conversation last week to meet one another. And yeah, look, I can't wait to spend time with her. We're going to be besties by the end of it. No, we're going on tour
if
together.
If you have anything to do with it, you will.
Who doesn't want to be besties with Oprah? But no, look, it was lovely. She couldn't have been kinder and warmer and more appreciative. And she's sort of, thank you, Mel, for doing this. And I'm like, well, thank you for asking me. So it was I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be just. Look, professionally, it's an incredible honor, but also what an opportunity to spend time with somebody who has talk about risen to the top, like she's the top of the top. So I think just to spend some time with her and her team and see how she operates and how they work and what they do. And that's what I'm really excited by. I think I'll have so much to learn, so many questions, and it'll be fabulous fun.
Mel, just having that Zoom call alone.
I know, right? I know. Her backdrop was a little tidier than mine, but yeah, that was
Come
lovely.
on, I reckon you got dressed up. You would have looked the nines.
All right. So between you and I thought it was a phone call. I knew we were having a phone call at like 10 and then someone rang me at about 45 minutes beforehand and said, oh, just giving you a heads up. I don't know whether you know, but she wants to do a Zoom chat. And I was like, shit. I was in my dog walking clothes, cap on, hadn't washed my hair. So the poor dog had to wait, bolted to the shower, did the whole quickly wash my hair, put some makeup on, dress nicely from the top half and chat to Oprah. And then take
I love that idea that you're all class up top. You got the tracky jacks on below.
Yeah, well, dog walking gear. So I reckon I was all dolled up for the park, but that's okay. It was pretty cool.
And of course, when Oprah says she wants to do a Zoom call, you do a Zoom call.
You do a Zoom call. Hey, it's not like I'm a little busy. Can you call back? So you drop everything. But yeah, lovely. Just very warm. And hey, the Oprah that we know. She's like that for real.
Well, you'll certainly get to know that. We'll have to get a debrief from you when it's all over. Of course, that's just one of the many things you're doing. You've now got the House of Wellness returning to Channel 7 on Wednesday. Do you find time to stop, Mel?
Well, you know me. I'm better when I'm busy.
Yes.
And I feel that ever since I left I don't want to say Monday to Friday work because let's be honest, there's nothing about media that's ever Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
But having a regular job and being able to have this, someone described it to me as a bit of a portfolio career, which I'm loving. I love the variety. I thrive on different things. And I feel like I'm so lucky that I get to do radio and I get to do TV and I get to do interviewing and all the things that, all the boxes I get to tick to keep me creatively just it's all different parts of my personality that I love to be able to feed. So I'm really lucky. So yeah, House of Wellness is back on Wednesday night. Look, it's fun. It's a 9:30 time slot. So having spent most of my life in breakfast television, which as you know, you have to be on your best behavior. Oh my Lord, we're having fun at 9:30 at night. It's kind of like It's got a late night talk show feel
which we
with a
need.
health and wellness bent. Yes, don't we? Just live interview. We've got live music acts. You know, we've got Barnsey. We've had Delta, Guy Sebastian, and Delta popped over into the kitchen and sang us out with the old keyboard the Casio keyboard. I'm sure she hadn't bashed on one of those for a good 20, 30 years. But it's really fun to do that late night talk show vibe, which I've never had the chance to do. And you can kind of get away with it. It's a little more risque than early morning TV. And we're loving it. We're just having the best time. We've got a great team. Shane Crawford is a delight to work with. My gosh, he's a lovely man. He's funny. He's charming. He's a gentleman. So I've hit the jackpot.
I only know him from what I've seen on TV, but he certainly does seem to be a good guy. And
He's
I've got to
lovely.
say, the House of Wellness is going all out. I even got this little goodie pack that arrived in the
Ooh.
mail today. So face
Oh,
masks.
what was in it? Do tell.
It had all this, some little treats, even lollies and stuff like that. And I thought,
Ooh.
how long will I actually get to enjoy any of that before my wife and the girls get to it?
But don't you love, I think what I love is, though, so then judging by what was in that goodie bag, wellness means chilling out on the couch, eating
Yes.
lollies with a face mask on. Like, we're all about, I don't know about you, but if someone says to me, okay, you can't have sugar, alcohol, or coffee, and you need to eat kale and run 20,000 steps a day, like, that's just not going to happen. I really like it that we're talking about wellness, which is all encompassing, everything from, I don't know, just feeling good about yourself and feeling good about the
Really good
day, and
point.
little tips and tricks that we can do to make our lives just a bit more balanced and healthy and stuff. But I just don't want to be preachy. The last thing I want is someone telling me that what I'm doing is wrong and I should be doing this, because that's just not going to happen. So I feel like wellness to me is, I don't know, walking the dog in the sunshine. That makes me feel good. It's got to be and having some music to listen to and having a laugh. Laughter is the best medicine for a reason. So they're the things that I love that we talk about. Not, go do this, go do that, don't do this, don't do that, because no.
Well, I love that. And I love that attitude. It's funny you were talking about Sunrise. I do feel like for someone who was the queen of breakfast TV, still is, you did struggle with the mornings at times, didn't you?
Oh,
when I
you
was
tell me
working
anyone,
with you, there
you
were
get
a
up at
few
3
mornings.
a.m. But you know what? When I think back, the thing that was hard for me was I had 2 babies.
Yeah.
I had Talia when I was doing the show. I had 2 little kids. I'd come home to toddlers. I mean, any mum and dad with toddlers knows that's intense full-time job. So I think back and I'm like, I don't know how I did it, how I got up at 3 o'clock every morning, did that job, and then came home to 2 little ones. Look, I'll be honest, the house was a mess and I dropped the ball on so many things, but it was a really intense time, but I loved it. I thrive on being busy. I thrive on challenge. It was great. I wouldn't swap it for anything, but yeah, it was hard. And then, I'd go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. But to be honest, by then I was ready to have clocked off at 5 p.m. I was so exhausted. So yeah, I think particularly any parent knows, but anyone that does shift work knows it's all consuming and it's difficult. But
it was all
hey,
consuming. I mean,
great.
this wasn't just doing Sunrise and then going home. You'd have
Yeah,
PR
yeah,
commitments, or you could
yeah.
end up down in Beaconsfield doing weeks worth of coverage. I
Yes.
mean, this wasn't just a clock in, clock
Yeah.
out from work, was it?
No, and I think, people probably don't realize, but if you've got an actor on Thursday to talk about their new film, you've got to go see the film. Now, I know that's not exactly a hard task, don't get me wrong, but I still had to carve out a couple of hours to then go and see the film. Or, we would go and shoot packages. We would take the
Yep.
show on the road. I'd often be away. Beaconsfield, you mentioned, gosh, that was nearly 2 weeks away from home, and I thought I'd be
Yeah.
gone for a night. So all of those things, people don't see that part of it. They only see the glossy bit on telly. And good, that's our job. But it was always a lot more involved than I think anyone, watching knew. But having said that, the best job ever. I wasn't going down a mine. I loved it, but it was just, it was an intense time in my life. And we
It
were
was.
growing the show. That's the other thing. We were building it into the juggernaut that you see today. But that took a lot of work because in the beginning, we didn't have quite the enormous name that it has now, which makes things a lot easier to get talent on and do all of those things. So we had to put the hard yards in back then, but it was awesome.
I don't think anyone should ever forget that. Sunrise is this number one brand, but the foundations that the original team of you, Koshi, Adam Boland, all laid was so important to the future success of that show and why it has remained so dominant, because they've learnt the lessons. It evolves. It has evolved as you have to over time. But you cannot underestimate what you guys did. One, beating the Today Show, which was a dominant number one, and everything that had gone up against it failed. You guys changed the script. You changed breakfast TV to lead it in the path it is now. That can never be forgotten, and no one can ever take that away from you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I also look at it that what a privilege to build something.
Yeah.
Whatever industry you might be in, to be part of a startup, to grow something from humble beginnings into something that is big and then becomes number one. Like, that's a really precious experience that no matter what field you're in, you don't always get the opportunity to do. And so that's what I feel very lucky to have been part of that. It was wild. It was fun. I have nothing but wonderful, fond memories. And even to this day, people say hello and remember it, or particularly there's a lot of women who might have kids the same age as mine. And, I was pregnant when you were pregnant. I mean, what a lovely place to be in people's lives. What a precious job to have had. So, yeah, super.
And now you're building House of Wellness, which, since you've come on, has really just transformed. And obviously, I imagine the behind-the-scenes team has changed as well, or they've certainly infused it to go somewhere different. And it really is a different show, and it's really a great watch now. So congratulations with that as well.
Thank you.
You're still doing it. You're still changing things.
Oh, you're lovely. Look, the show that came before us was exceptional and had been going for a long time, and kudos to the team. Really fantastic television. What we're doing is different to what it was. It's now live studio audience, late night talk show vibe, musical acts, all of those things. And that's a really fun thing to do. So I love being in a studio. I love working with a crew. I love making television. I love it that we have a live audience that we can feed off, and, their energy is so important to all of us. So it really is just a really fun experience. And same, a privilege to be able to make TV. I always think you're lucky if you get to do what it is that you want to do, as you know full well, and you get to do it and talk to people and interview people, which is what you've always done and what you're so good at. So I think for all of us, no matter what it is, if you get to do, what rocks your world, then you're lucky.
You're happy. Mel, good luck with the new series. It starts Wednesday at 9:30 on 7 and 7+. The House of Wellness is its show. Mel Doyle is the person bringing it to you. Mel Doyle, friend of the show. Thanks for joining us on McKnight Tonight.
Thanks for having me, Rob. Bye.
Fun, insightful interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose. McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. It's good night from McKnight Tonight.